Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I don't know what to make of this episode. I will sit there and say that I love that outfit, that jacket that Johnny was wearing. It is literally fire. Um, I'm gonna try to not to be a negative Nancy about this whole. Well, we're just gonna continue the whole possession storyline for just a couple of reasons. And I do sit there and say I'm going to try. What it really comes down to is one, again, I didn't experience this the first time around. I know a lot of people did, and they're just like, all right, we're kind of over it, we're done, we want it to be done. So when they thought that it actually wrapped up the second time, and then come to find out that they're still doing it, I had people come up to me in real life when I was at work, and I was asking them, like, what do you think about the storyline so far? And, they were not happy about it at all. Um, so I get it. I mean, a little bit, I'm like, all right, maybe we could have kind of focused on something else. Because the way I look at this whole thing is that you had Marlena's whole family there. The whole family. Eric back at the priesthood, being a priest, and that didn't even work. Okay, they literally gave it their best shot. And that didn't work. So I'm sitting up there just looking at this like, well, what will work then? Like literally, what will it actually take? I mean, Eric being there was kind of like, all right, now we're gonna sit there and end this. So then for them to sit there and do this over again, it's like, bro, what are we doing? You know? And even when I sit there and look at this from back then, when you just had John, you know, the first time exercising the devil out of Marlena. How come that worked? Seriously, how come that worked? The whole family together when an actual priest didn't work, but John, like, uh, I don't know. Those are my little gripes about it, but again, I'm gonna sit there and try to not be such a Debbie Downer about it. I will sit there and say that at some point they're gonna have to find a way to move past this. Um, if not for anything else, but for their ratings. So Johnny, you know, first of all, you got Chanel, Trip, and Allie downstairs, and Chanel's all like, "Oh, well, I guess whatever he was doing was more important than kissing me on New Year's Eve." And I'm like, "Seriously, you're gonna be acting all pissy because he didn't give you a kiss on New Year's Eve? Like, really? I don't know. It just seems kind of petty." He's upstairs. Johnny's upstairs, possessed by the devil, monologuing like a damn DC villain. Comes downstairs. Allie once again apologized for being a jerk. I'm like, no, let's not water this down, okay? You were being a brat, you were being a bitch. But you did sit there and own up to it, and you were humble about it. So I give you your props for that. Um, they leave, and, Johnny the whole time, here's the thing, when he comes back downstairs, it's like he doesn't even know what's going on. And there's a couple of times where he feels kind of weak, like he's about to fall down. So Chanel's like, do you want to go to the hospital? He's like, nah, I'm good. All right, well, we're just going to send you to bed then. I'm like, I really feel like he should probably go to the hospital, but okay, sure, whatever. Um, so she goes upstairs. He continues to monologue like a DC villain with his plans. Now, it didn't work, and it literally did not work. Well, their plans as far as trying to cast him, well, back downstairs. And the moment that it left Marlena, right on Johnny. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me was just like the way they did that, like, all right, they're retelling this whole scene, and the devil goes out of Marlena. Everyone's happy. Then it goes right back into Johnny. It was almost like something to say, hey, remember that effort? Remember how everyone was so excited that he was like gone, and everyone was like, happy, and it was a nice, good family moment, and we're all just like, yeah, we're just gonna sit there and take that scene, and we're just gonna find a way to just stick a middle finger at your happiness. Everyone that thought that it was gone, that we were moving on with the possession storyline, nah, I felt like that's what that was. I felt like it was just a nice, big middle finger to the people that thought that we were gonna be over with this possession storyline. So that's awesome. That's the way that I took it. Um, and then he looks up at the painting and he starts saying, to Stefano that, we're gonna make your little Johnny's gonna be, you're gonna be proud of your little Johnny or something like that, and continues to monologue, blah 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 blah, monologue like a damn DC villain. That's what I call it. So Rome, Kate, Steve, Rome, Kate, Steve, Rome. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Kayla. My goodness. So they're all there celebrating New Year's Eve. And at first I was like, wow, you're celebrating like your son is missing. This woman's acting like her child is missing. But of course she does bring it up. And, Rome was like, I hired Black Patch to sit there and take a look to try to find Philip. Like, we got to find him. At this point, I'm like, Kate, what are you going to do? You literally got the A squad, okay, the A team pretty much. I mean, they called John the Salem. What do you call him? The double O of Salem or whatever. The James Bond of Salem, and you got Steve, which is just he's just Steve. He's just that cool. You got those two. They're going to be sent there trying to look for Philip. Kate, what are you going to do now? So after they leave, Kate does tell Rome because um Rome hired Kate. I mean Rome hired Steve and John. So at this point, Kate's like, yeah, I gotta tell you something. And she fills him in on the fact that Philip is alive and he needs therapy. Or needed therapy for a while, but he needs therapy. And don't worry about Brady. He's gonna be fine. We dropped the charges, so everything's all good. But the problem with that is that just because the charges are dropped doesn't mean that people aren't going to sit there and think that he might have had something to do with it. You know, it's one of those things where it's like just because you're found innocent doesn't mean that you're necessarily innocent. It just means that for whatever reason, failed to do their job as far as finding a way to put you in jail. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily innocent, and it sucks. It sucks. I don't like that, but that is the you know unfortunately the power of public opinion. Anyway, Roman wants to sit there and make sure that they're on the same page about trust because he was like, "Yo, are you only telling me this now just because your hand is forced? Because I put these DA squad on a case. Would you have told me otherwise?" And Kay's like, "I told you now," which is her polite way of saying, "Well, no, I wouldn't have told you." But and of course she makes sure that he doesn't say anything because they can both get in trouble if you know they find out if the day finds out, which is going to be on my next question. How long is Philip supposed to be gone? Oh, by the way, let me look up this actor because I was thinking I was like, how long is this actor going to be gone for? I mean, I know he's been on there for a hot minute, and he might want to sit there and take a break. The guy who plays Philip. Now, another person on the show named Matt Ashford is out as Jack. Now, I gotta sit there and look more into this because I don't know how to feel about it, per se. Like, I'm. First of all, the guy who plays Jack has been playing Jack for a very long time. And so, him not being Jack just seems off to me. I've only been watching it for a short time compared to everyone else, but he just seems like Jack to me. That's not something to saying they can't find somebody else to be Jack, but when you have an actor that plays a character for so long that they can play the character like it's just them. Like, all right, I know exactly what Jack was sit there and say. There's two people that come to mind when I sit there and say playing a character to a T that I can think of: Susan Lucci and Maurice Bernard. Um, and Susan Lucci, when I met her, I couldn't tell if I was talking to Susan Lucci or Erica Kane. Like, I really could not tell. And this was during the book signing. And Maurice Bernard, I mean, well, you know him from General Hospital. The characters aren't really that far apart when you think about them. So I butcher his name because I am not one to do seriously. So as far as Matthew not being Jack anymore, it's just odd. Now the reason why I have to feel off about it is because I don't know if this is his choice or if this is the studio's choice. Because depending on which side it is going to really determine my mood. But I'll sit there and try to do some research. If anyone knows, is it his choice or is it the studio's choice? Please let me know in the comment section below. Um, anyway, I think that kind of does it for Kate and Roman. They agree to keep the secret. I mean, obviously agrees to keep his mouth shut and make sure that Kate doesn't go to jail, along with Philip. So that's fine. Now, Marlena is like they're talking to John, and of course, she just neglects talking about, hey, I could have swore I saw the devil on the TV. No, I didn't. So it was just, okay, cool. So, after that little thing, um, Steve and Kayla come over and they're celebrating. They want to sit there and just say hi and talk or whatever. And they talk about the possession. And, Marlena apologized to Kayla for what she did. And, Kayla's like, no, it's cool. It's just a little bump in the head. But then they literally go in for a good 2 minutes about the fact that Kayla's like, yeah, but, then you kiss me. And then they literally sit there and talk about that kiss for like a good 2 minutes. And it's like, okay, I get it, but why are we still talking about this for? You know? Like I don't understand why they felt the need to harp on it as long as they did. And it's not like either of these characters are like, they're very forward thinking, I would sit there and say. They're not like very biased towards people of different sexuality or anything like that. So I don't understand why did they make it such a big deal. And then, Steve makes a joke. And of course, Steve was making a joke earlier about the possession, and Kayla was getting kind of funny about it. So, you know, Marley, I think he made a joke like, oh, but you guys are still friends, right? I didn't really understand it. Um, but, Marlena kind of like, goes in on a joke or whatever. Everyone laughs about it. But I'm just like, did we really need to sit there and talk about this as long as we did? Because this seemed, um, like I didn't understand why did it. It's like they made it more awkward than they need to be. It's not like you kissed her knowing that it was Marlena, and it's not like Marlena kissed you knowing that well she wasn't possessed, and you only kiss Marlena because at the time it looked like Steve. So why do we feel the need? Why did he feel the need to bring it up and then just talk about it as long as he did? I mean, did that really bother them so much more than I don't know, knocking her unconscious, probably giving her a concussion, and all the havoc that she did at the hospital as far as letting Jan Spears run route, just run free and um Trip being in a coma? I would sit there and think that would be more at the forefront of apologies and to kind of sit there and talk about it, but nope, we had to sit there and talk about a kiss because for some odd reason that seemed more prevalent. Seemed more prevalent. I'm just gonna leave it alone at that point. Now, Allie and Trip. They don't really do anything after that. They get home, they say a bunch of cheesy lines, they kiss, and then they have sex, and that's pretty much about it. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm so glad that they actually started skipping these sex scenes. It was really prevalent in the late '90s when I was watching, and probably even earlier before then. But I remember it used to be such a problem as far as them doing it, the networks and everyone you sit there and get on them so much, like as far as like this forbidden thing to do, and if they did it, they crossed some sort of hurdle, and it was like I don't really understand. It looks cheesy. I mean, it looks funny, but it looks cheesy. Maybe way back. Not gonna lie, some of those sex scenes look really pornographic, but when I started watching it, it just looked cheesy. So I'm glad that they kind of skipped them because it's really unnecessary. Like, I don't need to sit there and see them having sex and know that they have sex. You know, we're all grown adults, and it's just something that's just unnecessary. And the way I sit there and kind of look at stuff like that is time and a place for it. Time and a place for it. Like, I don't need to sit there and watch sex scenes in a movie because if I want to watch sex scenes, I'll just watch porn. Um, I just felt it was just very awkward. You know, just that they're watching a movie with friends and then they just make a sex scene. You're just like, this makes me feel uncomfortable because it's hot. What am I exactly supposed to do? So, again, I'm just glad that they skip past it and then they just kind of hang out in bed, and that's pretty much about it. Oh, and Lucas gets what he wants. He gets Sammy, and then sits there and questions it for a good 5 to 7 minutes. Are you sure this is real? Are you sure this is what you want? Are you just saying that because, EJ is this and EJ is that? Are you going to just leave me once you find out that you love EJ again? What am I going to do with my broken heart? Bro, like, bro, you got what you wanted. I mean, I'm looking at this like, okay, so I guess we're just going to put a little timer on your romance with Samantha. I actually called her Samantha, Sammy, before it, well, comes crashing and burning. And Sammy, after convincing him that she wants to be with him because she wants to be with him, even though, let's be honest, you're only being with him because it's a consolation prize, but whatever. Point is, you want to be with him? Fine. Here's the other part. Now she wants to leave Salem, and she starts listing a whole bunch of reasons why. She keeps going back to EJ. And then she's like, well, I don't want EJ to come at you. Luke is like, well, I'm a big boy. I can sit there and handle EJ. Bro, do you really think you can handle EJ? I mean, I haven't seen your past history. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, EJ's the type of guy that can sit there and threaten his own child. So, I mean, you have morals. Not a lot, but more than EJ. I just don't see him coming out on top. I really don't. But he's like, are we leaving out of a reaction to EJ? Bro, what's the difference? You got what you wanted. I don't understand. You literally did this plan to throw this man in jail with Chad, who, by the way, threw his brother in jail. Um, Fire him is one thing, but throw him in jail, all right, it's a little kind of overkill. So as he questions that, Kate and Rome come, and um, Luke is like, all right, well, we're back together, and we're going to be leaving Salem. Okay, well, that was, I don't even know what to say to that. You're leaving Salem. Okay. I, I just don't know. There's a lot of moving parts in the show. There's a lot of shakeups in the show. Um, like I said, Matthew is out as Jack. I don't know why. Philip has been gone. Who knows when he's going to come back? Um, they're having another Kristen in here because reasons. I know people have told me the reason why, but I still just like, what are we doing? Um, they're still doing a possession storyline, which a lot of people don't like. I feel like the network is pushing more towards a streaming service as far as them maybe moving days to streaming, which I don't know if it will survive because a lot of people who've been watching the show for years just refuse to sit there and get another streaming service. I mean, I don't, I don't know. There's a lot of shakeups with this show. The show has been on for 50 something years, and it would be a shame for it to actually leave and dissipate because they made decisions that they might have thought might have been better for them financially, but in reality, they really hold up so well. I don't know. I've grown to like this show. I think that's pretty much about it. I've grown to like this show a lot, more than I thought it would, and sometimes even more, or at least episode wise, more than GH. And there's the whole Hope thing, and my point is, and then there's Sarah. There's a lot of holes in the show. And I think they try to do the best job that they could as far as chugging along, but sometimes it's one of those things that maybe it's just me. And not just as a reviewer, but just as a fan. And I'm just like, so we just gonna just love the show and yet have all these glaring holes and problems within the show. Um, and we're just gonna totally ignore them like they just don't exist. Okay, all right, that's okay. Anyway, I think that's about it. If I forgot anything, please write down in the comment section below. I an amazing subscriber told me that I should probably stop saying that and just be confident in my work and what I do, as far as making sure, just being confident to know that I did a good job, and as far as me covering everything, but it's still something that's going to take to get used to. But I have to sit there, and maybe it's just me used to saying it. I'm actually have to probably try to untrain my brain to sit there and say, well, I think that's about it, but if I missed anything. So with that being said, I hope everyone had a great New Year's. Everyone is safe. Everyone has some resolutions, and I hope that everyone gets to fulfill them. I have a resolution myself, and I don't know if I'm gonna sit there and be able to fulfill it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna ask for your help in order to do that. I want to try to get to 1,000 subscribers within 3 months. Because I want to get monetized. And it's not just about the money. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to actually have some extra money, but it's just more of feeling like I'm making some. I mean, it's just another way to send it. They feel like I'm making progress, um, and it's something I really want to do. And this is where I'm asking for your help. Every now and then, I'm gonna sit there and ask people to share the video. If you share it on Instagram, if you share it on YouTube, wherever. If you tell your friends about it, anything that will definitely help out the channel is so much appreciated. Because this is a goal of mine, and I want to sit there and try to get there. And I feel like I can. And I feel like I can with everyone's help. So if you can share this video, spread it, message it, as far as letting people know, it will help me out more than anyone, more than you know. So with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.